The curse of Gone with the Wind. Why did so many of the actors died tragically? 1. Clark Gable, dead from a heart attack at 59, played Rhett Butler. Gable was already known as the King of Hollywood, but his portrayal of Butler became his most famous role. After a heart attack in his 50s, Gable's health declined. He still went on to star in The Misfits alongside Marilyn Monroe. It was the last movie for both of them. Gable lost 35 pounds to play Gay Langland. This weakened his heart further. He suffered a heart attack 2 days before filming Wrapped. 11 days later, he had a third while recovering in hospital. It proved fatal. 2. George Reeves, mysterious suicide at 45, played Stuart Tarleton. Reeves's most famous role came years later. He played Superman in 1951's Superman and the Mole Men. He went on to star in the TV series Adventures of Superman. Then he killed himself for no apparent reason. He and his fiancée, Leonore Lemon, had some friends over. Reeves tried to get them to leave, but they wouldn't.
He's going upstairs to shoot himself,
Lemon said. After a gunshot sounded, she declared,
"See there, I told you. He's shot himself."
They didn't call the police for over an hour. 3. Leslie Howard, dead in a plane crash at 50, played Ashley Wilkes. Howard was British, so he returned home when World War II broke out. In 1943, he went to Portugal to deliver a speech, but his flight back to London never made it. Howard was accompanied by his manager, Alfred Chinhals. Chinhals had a striking resemblance to Winston Churchill. Their civilian plane was attacked by a German fighter. None of the people aboard survived. The Germans apparently believed Chinhals was Churchill. 4. Vivien Leigh, dead from tuberculosis at 53, played Scarlett O'Hara. Lee's mental health began to decline even before the movie. She was bipolar, but 1930s psychiatry was rudimentary. Leigh was prescribed sedatives and electroshock therapy. It almost derailed her career. Then she contracted TB. Although she recovered, her health was shot. A severe recurrence in 1967 killed her within weeks. 5. Hattie McDaniel, dead from cancer at 59, played Mammy. McDaniel was the first black actor to win an Oscar. She had a successful TV and radio career in the 1940s. But in 1952, McDaniel had complications from diabetes. They were compounded by a breast tumor. She slipped into a coma and died without regaining consciousness. 6. Ona Munson, suicide at 51, played Belle Wattling. Wattling was rumored to be a part of Hollywood's Sewing Circle. It was a group for closeted lesbians. Despite several marriages, Munson had many affairs. Among her lovers were Greta Garbo and Tallulah Bankhead. Munson was depressed because of all the secrecy. She overdosed on barbiturates in 1955. Her final note read,
"This is the only way I know to be free again. Please don't follow me."
7. Oscar Polk, killed by a cab at 49, played Pork. Polk was a stage actor before his stint in Hollywood. He returned to the theater after Gone with the Wind, but he never achieved fame. He was killed by New York Taxi a week before his first leading role. 8. Butterfly McQueen, burned to death at 84, played Prissy. McQueen lived longer than most of her castmates. However, her death may have been the most horrible. In 1995, she accidentally started a kerosene fire in her home. Paramedics found her lying outside with burns all over her body. Sadly, the 84-year-old died in hospital